president to get, they have to fish out drastic measures on how to tackle this economic hardship that we are facing in this country right now. And that's why we started with the oil issue. We will keep saying it and we will never get tired of saying it. Oil is supposed to be our major revenue generator in this country. And just as Fuhad has said, if the presidents and governors must agree on a subsidy removal timelines, then there should also be a refinery setup or a refinery reactivation. A refinery reactivation timeline. We should also
because
have
the only reason why we are not making money at this time from this oil price surge globally from the Russia-Ukraine war is because we are not refining. We sell crude. Half of it is stolen.
See, Fuad, I want to ask a question, because even if we are refining,
is there any other story of the prodigal son better than this?
The crude that we are even exporting,
we can't even account for it.
Yeah,
half of it is stolen. More than half is stolen.
So even at from that level, I think we already have a serious problem.
Serious one. You know, Sandra, when I sent the link to you yesterday, and I need to just read this paragraph for our listeners to understand my frustration with the situation we are in at this time. The report is this: a surge in crude oil prices following the Russian invasion of Ukraine is hurting many economies around the world. But high prices are helping Angola, the second largest oil producer in sub-Saharan Africa. Nigeria is the largest in sub-Saharan Africa. Pay off its Chinese debts. Pay off its debts to Chinese lenders. Angola oil revenue rose from $1.4 billion in April to $2.1 billion in May, according to data from the country's finance ministry. Sandra. And that is a country that has been able to pay off its debts, making money. In fact, part of the report, if we look at it very well, Sandra, says that they've been able to even firm up their currency against the dollar from the proceeds of oil. It's not any magic, Sandra. It's not as if,
I also maybe we should bring it to people's notice, probably so that people have an understanding of what we mean by Angola has been able to pay off their debts. We're not talking of millions of dollars, okay, and we're not talking of 2 billion. We're talking of 42.6 billion US dollars. That is what Angola has been able to pay off in a few months that this global oil prices has gone
and their currency moved from 900 to $1. They call it the Kwanza. From 900 to $1, it has improved to 450 to $1.
Look at that. All right, well, more details of experts tasking the government on how to rescue our ailing economy. And one of the issues that they're raising is the removal of PMS subsidy. And at this point now, is that what is going to rescue? It may rescue the economy, but what about the people on whose back it's going to be resting on? Focus more on agri sector insecurity to stem food inflation. That's a good one. But you can get more details on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. We also have ISWAP terrorists kidnap 6 Borno farmers. This is part of
the problem.
Part of the problem.
There was a time the Minister of Agriculture was saying that the problem of food inflation is not as a result of insecurity. But this is a report, like several others, that have confirmed the fact that
people are scared of going to their farms.
Farmers are being kidnapped. They have to pay crazy taxes to bandits in Zamfara. Levies, right? In Zamfara,
they pay tax to the government.
In Niger, this is Borno State. And yeah, Minister of Agriculture is saying that, look, no, insecurity, food inflation is not a result of insecurity.
He said it a long time. Maybe
I need to bring it back.
Maybe he has retracted his statement.
No, there's no statement to show he retracted it.
All right, well, ISWAP terrorists kidnapped 6 Borno farmers. It's an unfortunate story, but you can get more details on page 29 of The Guardian. We also have here, we'll resolve Atiku Wike feud, BOT chair assures. Still on PDP woes, and that's on page 6 of The Guardian newspaper. I also have...
I promise I won't say anything on anything Wike Atiku. So.
You just did. You should have just moved on. All right, we also have, we won't pay you for strike period, federal government tells ASUU. So at this point now, okay, come and negotiate, but as we are negotiating, the 6 months that you were at home, we're not going to pay you.
No.
And ASUU is saying that if you want us to have to go back and teach the students for that 6-month period that they missed, we have to take them on the subjects that they missed on that period.
Let's
then
ask,
you have to pay us.
Sam, let's ask ourselves, this kind of statement, does it show the commitment of the government to end this strike? You're actually still negotiating with a body?
No arrears.
No, you don't understand. You can't be on the negotiation table and you take this
the threat. Is it
end
threat?
of the table.
Would I say threat?
You say threat. It's a form of threat. You are still negotiating. You are hoping to have a meeting point.
Resolve, yeah.
You are trying to resolve an issue. Both of you are still on the negotiation table, and then you take this far end position. How do you want to convince people that you're actually committed to resolving the issue when you're already giving like, oh, we're not going to pay you, so we're not going to pay the arrest? Is that a threat? Is that a form of joke? And so when you keep getting from us that the government is not bringing anything new to the table, the government's posturing, not now, even before it got to 6 months plus, even when it was 2-3 months, we kept saying it. Ngige, who was the Minister of Labour, kept giving this kind of posturing that does not show that the government is really committed to, and that's why I keep saying that.
Called it a job boycott.
Sandra, the president has to get on the negotiation table with ASUU, get serious with the negotiation, and give a timeline. For example, get serious commitments to, okay, these are the things we can do at this time. In my honor, I can tell you that I will do this, do that, and give realistic timelines. Also give a working model on how maybe funds can be gotten. Okay, we're going to do this, tax this sector to fund this. From this account, we're going to get this, and give timelines to it so that our kids can return back to the university. So this idea of we won't pay, you don't do this. The only thing it will do is to embolden ASUU the more, strengthen their resolve to say, look, we're going to fight it out
to the finish.
All
right. Well, more details on page 7 of The Guardian. We also have same faith tickets may jeopardize peaceful coexistence. United Nations says PFN, Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria. All right, and that's on page 26. And
I'd rather focus more on the economy.
Okay, so thank you. Because I wanted to say, if you're going to do what you're doing to the crisis in PDP, then I don't know. I didn't know we're still talking about the safe. It's okay.
Okay, so just
more details on page 26. We also have 5G to generate $7 trillion by 2030 as Mupita sees tech-driven Nigeria.
5G
2030.
Well, we
7 trillion.
Well, I hope that would have enough. Would exist as a nation to
reap this
because again, what we have, honestly,
on ground,
and at this time, it's not looking good enough to begin to think of all of these things. We have pressing issues. The economy. I'm afraid, honestly, Sandra. I'm really, really afraid. We're driving the country, to a ditch. We're actually driving to a ditch if we're not careful.
All right, well, more details on page 21 of The Guardian. And finally, from Guardian, we have NPA generates 172.285 billion naira revenue in the first quarter of 2022, but they remitted 78.496 billion naira.
They generated what and remitted what? That's for sake of emphasis, Sandra.
Nigeria ports, or maybe I should so that people can know what who I'm talking to. NPA, Nigeria Port Authority now. NPA generates 172.285 billion naira in the first quarter of 2022, and they remitted 78.496 billion naira. You want to?
I know. I want you to give details.
I want to get details. I'm not getting details though.
Okay.
I don't have the right page to get the details. But isn't that interesting though?
They generate over 1 trillion naira and remitted 70 what?
78
billion.
Yes.
And so the shortfall, the remaining, where did it go to?
What happened to it?
What happened to it?
Okay. That's what I'm okay, yes. No. I'm trying to get it because they said that it's on page 21, but it's not there. It's not on page 21. I'll see if we can get, if it's trending on another paper, and then we'll see. Okay.
So that we can get more details.
All right. It's actually on it's on page 15 of the Guardian newspaper, and it says here that the Nigerian Ports Authority has generated revenue of 172.285 billion from its operations, and the authority in the same period remitted 78.496 billion to the Consolidated Revenue Fund. And these disclosures were contained in their half-year operational report released by the managing director. So giving a breakdown, they said that 50.255 billion represents cash remittances, with a compulsory deduction of 25% of revenue generated, and other sundry payments for the absolute period of. I'm trying to understand exactly where the remaining funds went to. He said that the remaining sum of 28.241 billion relates to the remittance with respect to other periods. So he's trying to explain the remittances were expressions of the operational performance of the ports. Well, you can actually get more details. I'm not
because if you generate 172.28 billion and you are remitting 78
billion.
And then we need to ask ourselves, the treasury single account, how is it is it still in operations? Because one would expect that every payment that goes to government is supposed to hit the account of government straight immediately. So
is there any other account that money is being paid
are we unbundled to the treasury single accounts where revenues can be collected by other accounts and all of that? Because the TSA was supposed to help consolidate all payments. It just goes straight into one account.
Monitor things
but
like
now
this.
Where you have MPA generating, are they not generating through the TSA? Have we abandoned that arrangement? Because remember that there are also issues with other remittances, so not only MPA. We have issues even with NNPC too, between CBN and you remitted, you didn't remit. So we need to ask the question: have we jettisoned the TSA, or does the MPA not use the TSA, or are there other ways of payments other than the TSA?
All right. Well, deep questions, but you can get more details on page 15 page 15 of the Guardian.
These are some of these things. These are some of the things, Sandra, that ASUU would see, and like if you generate 172.285 billion half of the year and you are remitting 78.
It's also on the Nation newspaper. It's a trending story. All right, let's move on to the Nation newspaper now. We're done with the Guardian. All right, so the major headline from the Nation newspaper: federal government insists on no work, no pay rule for varsity workers. And the writer to that is government ASUU differ on salaries and payment platforms. Students to sue teachers and ministers. It's okay.
Yeah, somebody gave that suggestion. Was it? It was actually the minister. I read it somewhere suggesting that university students should sue ASUU for wasting their time. I think I read the report somewhere, giving that option to students.
The Minister of Education.
Education, yes.
Yes.
Adamu. That yes, that the students should go ahead and sue ASUU.
Take ASUU to court. That was what he said in quote now. Yeah. Take ASUU to court.
You can see that it's all joke now.
It's like nobody cares. But let's see what we have in the reports. The federal government and ASUU shed light on why their Tuesday meeting to end the 6-month strike ended in a deadlock. So while the government claims that ASUU insistence on the payment of backlog of its members' salaries was prolonging the strike, the union blamed the deadlock on the provocative indifference of the government. So that is where we are on the ASUU federal government update.
Look at the word provocative, what?
Indifference. In quote, actually. That's exactly what they said. And, the Minister of Education, Adamu, who spoke for the government, said the president flatly rejected the payment of the salary backlog. And all contentious issues between the government and ASUU has been settled. Okay, except the quest for members' salary for the period of the 6-month strike to be paid, a demand that the president has flatly rejected.
But is it not the same Adamu that the president directed to resolve the ASUU issue in 2 weeks?
He said the president did not give him 2 weeks.
But we read it in the papers.
He said that he was just told to ensure that it's resolved as soon as possible.
Well, we got a timeline of 2 weeks. It's the same Adamu that is supposed to be on top of the situation, looking at practicable ways and reasonable ways of resolving the issue, getting into critical thinking mode to quickly resolve the issue. Look at his mode of thinking, Sandra. Telling the students to go and sue ASUU, having back and forth at this critical time where we are hoping that tangible things will be put on the table. And the only thing he can say now is that, okay, students will go and sue ASUU for wasting your time. And the professor, the ASUU chairman has told him, hey, I have no words for you. It means you are not really serious about resolving the issue.
Well, as it is
that the back and forth that we're supposed to be having at this time?
That's the back and forth, and I think that's what ASUU is terming as provocative indifference. And as it is now, the National Association of Nigerian Students welcomed the advice of the minister and say no problem, but you and the government will also
we'll put the two of you together.
Will be joined in the suit. So we are taking all of you to court. All right, more details on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. We also have government weighs options on petrol subsidy cash. And right after that, we have daily payment hits 18.69 billion naira.
Sandra.
Landing costs now 448 naira per litre.
Sandra, we have a figure now. We keep asking, what is our daily consumption? Now the minister has told us.
It's not daily consumption, no.
This is daily payment.
Daily petrol subsidy payment.
No, so it has to tally with what we consume.
For what we consume
daily. You can use this to now check what you. I think there's also a figure. I'll try if you read through the report. The minister also give daily figures of what you consume daily. So the question is, so there are no variations. So the daily tally is the same thing. It doesn't vary. It is the same thing. The same people buy the same quantity of fuel every day and all of that. And 18 billion naira daily on subsidy payments, Sandra. How? Where?
Every day.
And that's why you have the figure of 6 point something trillion.
6.7, yes.
So how is the calculation being done? You understand? What indices, what yardstick have we used to get this particular figure? We do over 18 billion every day on subsidy. Sandra.
Well, as it is now, we're going to look deep into that because there's actually a lot of figures that we have here. Yes, there's a lot of figures that we have here. All right, thank you very much. There's a lot of figures that we have here, so we'll be looking deeper into.
The figures plenty.
There's a lot of figures, so we need to break things down because they're actually. I think at this point now, okay. Let me not say I think. I'm not thinking, but I'm just putting it out there that they're trying to, see what can be done in order to take off the burden of subsidy payments. That's basically
the burden from who and who. Take off the burden from who? From the government, and put it on the people. So that PMS can sell for how much? Is it the problem of the people that the government has refused to do the right thing and fix our refineries for us to refine locally? Should the ordinary people pay for the failure of government, lack of capacity, proper thinking, corruption? Right. You see, the governors should answer that question the day they are sitting. How did we get to a point where none of our refineries are working?
All right, well, more details.
So are we saying that we can't refine? It's a taboo for us to refine locally.
More details on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. Thank you very much for staying with us on this dial. You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. It's trends in the papers. And just to, put this out there, we're also live on Facebook and YouTube. So you can check us out on Mainland 98.3 FM on Facebook and Mainland 98.3 FM on YouTube to watch the program live right now. Yes, so you get to see Fuad's face.
A smiling face, yeah.
It's a smiling face.
Behind the...
Yeah, it's not not a smiling face, so because... No, it's not a smiling face because I think, you are ready for this PMS issue this morning because I think Aramco and Angola has just,
a week ago, we reported it's 8 billion naira.
For Saudi Arabia, and now Angola, the second largest, and we are supposed to be the first largest.
We are, actually.
Are we?
We are the largest exporter of crude oil in sub-Saharan Africa.
I said first largest.
And we are immersed in BC. They have paid their own BC. They are firming up their currency. I'm sure their excess crude accounts will be swelling somewhere. We have depleted ours.
It's okay. Thank you. All right, more details on page 4. Let's move on.
Angola.
Tinubu Shetima ticket best for Nigeria now, says APC chairman. And what we have is what transpired between Obasanjo APC candidate parley. And you can get more details on page 4 as regards that particular issue. Security. Tompolo wins multi-million-dollar pipeline contract. That's on page 28.
You know Tompolo? That's a militant.
Is it Tompolo or
The
Tompolo?
militant leader, Tompolo. Whether it's Tompolo or Tompolo, but I know he's a militant leader. Oh, God.
This is where.
So a multi-million-dollar contract to help us secure the pipelines. So you secure the pipelines, giving it to an ex-militant? Is that how it's done?
So it's not wise?
Well, I don't know. I'm sure the people in government know why they've done that, but I'm just asking. It's just me thinking aloud now.
All right. Well, let's.
So what are the NCDC doing? The Navy, the Army, the police, all our security persons, operatives. They can't secure the pipelines. We have to give it to Tompolo, a former militant leader. Is it Tompolo? I'm sorry. I'm not from that part of the country, but I'm just, we need to ask ourselves, is that the best way to do it?
All right, let's keep moving. More details on page 28 of the Nation newspaper. We also have e-Naira becomes dollar enabled next week. I don't know if that's
different.
I don't know if that exactly. I don't know if that's when
the e-Naira thing came out, it was just very simple. It was just a platform for you to do more of online transactions instead of moving cash around. So what was there to celebrate? I think we should concentrate more on tangible things.
All right. Well,
what exactly would the e-Naira do now? Other than just it being a platform for you to do more of online transactions than carrying cash around. What's the difference? What exactly is it going to do? E-Naira, okay, so what is it really? What exactly is the e-Naira thing?
All right, well, more details on page 7. Still moving now on the front page of the Nation newspaper. 7-man caretaker body to run Osun PDP. And that's on page 27 of the Nation newspaper. All right, let's go above the masthead of the Nation. We have here, Lagos extends Okada ban to 4 more councils. Yes, that's actually an interesting one. I saw Mushin there. I saw Shudi Solo.
Solo, yeah. So I think if Fakojai, right? I was like, 4 more local. If the government wants to ban the whole thing, can he just?
No, they really want to make it a gradual process.
Why? If he thinks that he's getting security briefings to say that, look, just ban this thing outrightly, why don't he just do it with his full chest and let us move on with it?
What about areas that are not motorable?
That's the problem, really, because there are still areas in Lagos that, if you walk late, for example, and you don't have your own car, you may have to still use Okada to get into the inner neighborhoods. And that's a challenge, really. Maybe those neighborhoods will look at the options of the keke and pep or something. As an alternative, maybe the keke and pep will run those kinds of neighborhoods, because that's just the challenge, really.
People lose weight, go.
Or maybe just take a walk, trek.
Not trek.
Walk.
Take a walk, yeah. Don't say trek.
What do you mean trek and walk?
Page 30 has more details. Page 30 has more details. All right, and then we also still have $418 million Paris Club refund. Our case against Malami by governors. Can get more details on page 28.
It's in court, so they should continue to drag it.
Right.
But we still need to question the loyalty of the AGF, really.
Minister of Justice.
Why is it so much to the consultant than the governor and the nation?
Why is he insisting that that fund must be paid before this administration leaves office? All right. NPA generated 172.285 billion naira in 6 months, says MD. And that's on page 7 of the Nation
remitted
newspaper.
Less than half of it.
Yes, 78 actually. But you can get more details. I hope that the Nation actually gives us something a little bit more than what the Guardian
more detailed, yeah?
Yes, gave us. So it's saying that a total, but the authority also said 78 has been committed to the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation within that same period, and these were contained in a half-year report. So The authority generated the total revenue of this and remitted the total of this. And then he gave a breakdown of the money remitted. All right. And he said that a breakdown of the figure indicates that 50.255 billion represents cash remittances. The compulsory deduction of 25% of revenue generated and other sundry payments for the absolute period of January to June 2022. So he's added that the remaining sum of 28.241 relates to the remittance concerning other periods.
So I'm still asking the question about the TSA.
Did you get that though?
Yeah, of course, too many figures. We're trying to wrap our heads around it. But the question is, some of these deductions, the remittances, I'm still asking the question. I don't know where anybody would help us out. So what job does the TSA do? Have we abandoned it? So are these agencies...
How are we having cash remittances?
That's the question.
So which account is the cash remittance paid to?
The consolidated account. But what we're saying is that who generates? How do we now generate? Have we abandoned the TSA?
All right. Well, more details on page 7 for the Nation newspaper, just in case, you're struggling with the Guardian's report. But finally, from the Nation, we have PDP BOT chair Jibrin cautions Atiku Wike camps. That's on page 6 of the Nation newspaper. You're on to mainland 98.3 FM. Don't forget that we're live on Facebook and YouTube at mainland 98.3 FM on both channels. All right. So you can watch the program live on Facebook and YouTube. All right. So let's move on to the Punch newspaper. And we'll start with the major headline there. Endless borrowing. Debt servicing gobs 13.17 trillion naira under Buhari. Education suffers. And the riders to that, we have federal government budgets 4 trillion naira for education in 7 years. And that sector has lost 837 days to strike. Salary arrears stalling negotiations, says federal government. No pay, no resumption, says ASUU. Education underfunded. Federal government may borrow to fund sector, economists warn. And that's what we have on page 2.
We've borrowed for so many things, so we should borrow if we need to borrow.
For education.
Yeah, we
borrowed for consultancy of rail lines.
We borrowed for every other thing.
Consultancy for road construction.
So why can't we borrow to pay us? We should borrow. Yes. Yes, now we cannot account for our crude. Over half of it is stolen. We pay 18 billion naira every day, over 18 billion naira on subsidy. Right? And then we can't refine locally, and we still spend money on turnaround maintenance for the refineries that are not working. So we should borrow to pay us. Really, we have to just borrow.
Well, you can get more details.
Or probably beg or steal somewhere.
What?
Yes, now.
Why are we stealing?
Borrow, beg or steal, pay us.
We don't have to steal. Well, we have just as you said, we have the crude.
We can't account for it.
We can't account for what?
Yeah, the crude we export. Over half of it is stolen.
Yeah, but we still have something that's been sent out, and we have something that's been brought in.
It comes with negative.
The NPA just said it generated 100 and something billion.
They didn't remit the whole thing, so that's another issue. Even in I'm so much interested in the oil sector. We make money, but we pay subsidy, and automatically our account is red. So we're not. Do you know the meaning is that practically we are not making anything. So we should borrow. Let's just borrow. It's good to borrow. Was it not the minister that said it yesterday that we can borrow as much as we want? You read it yesterday now, Sandra. Have you forgotten? It was the minister, right? That said, the chairman of the party, the chairman of APC, said it. That they can continue to borrow. So why are we afraid to borrow to pay ASUU now?
All right. Okay, so let's move on. You can get more details of that major headline, endless borrowing, on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Let's keep moving now. We also have on the front page here, commuters groan, businesses shut as Songo Ota Road collapses. I like the fact that they put the pictures
of the road
there, and you can just imagine cars. These are trucks and they are struggling.
Yeah,
these are trucks and they are struggling. You cannot imagine cars having to go pass through this roads
Songo Ota Road is in a rainy
season, and then Songwater, is it Ogun State or
That's
Lagos?
Ogun State.
It's okay. I just have to put that out there, because now.
And I like it. At least the governor will read this. He'll read the story. The pictures are there for him to see. If maybe if he doesn't know, at least this will tell him. Unless maybe they hide the papers from him. It's possible. Imagine governor you.
Well, that's unfortunate, but
you don't understand.
You can get more details on pages.
Don't let governor see the picture.
It's okay.
They can even fight the chief press secretary that why did you allow Punch to carry the picture like that? You've not dealt with politicians before. I know now. Why did you allow the report? They just
more details on pages 4 and 5.
But governor will see this one.
The Punch newspaper.
He may not know.
All right, that the road is this bad.
He may not know. He may not know now.
Songo Ota is not so far from Abeokuta.
He may not know.
It's okay.
You can't be
all
too
right,
sure.
more details on pages 4 and 5. Then let's keep moving. We also have police uncover shrine with 20 corpses. That's 20 dead bodies.
I saw those videos. And
suspects kick.
I think in Abia State or somewhere in the east. And because again, some of these things you see on social media, you have to really verify. I saw those things, and what I saw really looks like what you call dry embalmment that some mortuaries do.
So could it be an illegal
mortuary?
Okay.
Yeah, but
or unregistered
mortuary where people just do all these forms of dry embalmment. But now that it's been tied to ritual killings, and because what I saw, I've actually been to something like facility like that before, where you see. As a result of lack of power in the mortuary, they go into dry embalmment, and well, as a Muslim, I get worried with things like that, because our own religion encourages you to just bury.
Right.
But I don't know that report.
It's a bit
unless
sketchy.
the papers are saying that yes, it's indeed related to ritual killings.
The Edo State Police Command is saying
yes, in Edo State. Yeah.
Yes, that's in Edo State. They found 20 mummified bodies, and they discovered a shrine in the building. Okay. That's probably why they're relating it to ritual killings. And that's why they designated it a ritual site.
Okay.
And then if you go further, officers from the legal department of the command and the company of the police spokesman were seen in the building, and they declined a comment on the matter. But I want to take
the suspect is saying something.
Yes, because when they got there, a refrigerator, the mummified bodies with mortuary tags, an area that looked like a shrine, and a bedroom and a stretcher were found in the uncompleted building. So could it be two scenarios? These were bodies stolen from a mortuary for ritual purposes, or it's an illegally operating mortuary.
And then somehow they're now into some form of juju. But honestly, I like I said, I've been to a facility like that because sometimes, I think some years back, and I understand that sometimes because of lack of power, mortuaries now go into some form of dry embalmment of dead bodies and all of that.
As it is now, one of the suspects who was caught, he said he was only there to supervise the POP work on the building, and he said that it was a proposed mortuary site. All right, and he was supervising the POP work, and they transferred the corpses from the temporary site because they're trying to relocate the corpses to the permanent site. Okay. So you can see that story is a bit sketchy. All right, but you can get more details on page 5 of the Punch. Moving on very, very quickly now, we have lawless soldiers brutalize corpse for seizing colleagues' motorcycle. That's on pages 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. All right, so it's between the two of them who handle the police and the army. All right, and we also have association fumes as Lagos extends ban on Okada. And that's on page 8 of the Punch newspaper. Sean Rivers vote, lose polls. Wike warns PDP. That's on page 14 of the Punch. God help PDP.
I made a promise.
It's okay.
I keep to my promise.
It's all right. I like that and I respect it.
Okay.
Take battle to terrorist hideouts. Buhari orders military. That's on page 11 of the Punch newspaper. That's harsh.
What did I do? Did I do anything?
You kissed your lips.
And that's Ash?
Yes.
You wanted him to say something, Asha?
No.
Okay, so let's just leave it.
Why Muslim ticket is problematic for Nigeria, says PFN, that's Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria. That's on page 10 of the Punch. Federal government to end petrol subsidy in June 2023.
Joking.
And that's coming from the Minister of Finance, Budget and Planning.
Look at the timing.
Zainab Ahmed.
Look at the timing.
June 2023.
When another government would have been there.
When another government.
So they are planning for another government or what?
Yeah, on behalf.
On behalf.
Probably
how do you talk?
They are hoping that it will be a party thing, so they just
it can't be a party thing.
So they hand over to the next.
I don't think that
person if it's from their party.
It can never be. Okay,
right.
So how do you assume? And plan an outgoing government is planning for an incoming government that you don't even know
who is going to come in.
They
are hopeful.
Is that not an untidy way of thinking?
I'm saying they may be hopeful.
Hopeful on what exactly?
It will be an in-party thing.
Okay, so you plan to end subsidy in June next year, when a new government would have been sworn in by May. So what kind of policy arrangement is that? What kind of thinking is that?
Ending of May. Don't forget, May 29.
Whatever it is. What kind of thinking is that? Well, we'll manage the subsidy regime.
Long-term plans.
It can't be. It's completely ridiculous. They should just. Anyways,
more details on page 22 of the Punch newspaper, and finally from the Punch, trapped forex. More airlines to suspend.
Emirates Airline is warning that. I think.
They're not warning. They give.
They give a time. I think maybe the next 1 or 2 weeks that they'll stop flying the Nigerian routes.
More airlines to suspend Nigerian operations. That's on page 21. All of this is happening. We have so many issues bedeviling the country, and a lot of people are absolutely distraught with the fact that our politicians are just focused on 2023.
And we have all of this. And you have a Minister of Finance who is already setting up a booby trap for them. And by June, they will remove subsidy.
All right, you're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. Don't forget that we're live on Facebook and YouTube right now. I still have Fuad Sahid with me in the studio. My name is Omobola Sandra. And we're going on finally now with Vanguard newspaper. And the major headline from Vanguard, let's see what's trending there. 18.39 billion naira spent on fuel subsidy per day. Had something different from the Nation.
No, it's almost the same figure.
18.39. Okay, this is 18.69. All right.
But at least over 18 billion.
Yes. And that's what the federal government is saying. Well, the writers to that, they're saying that 6.210 trillion naira paid from 2013 to 2021. Projects 3.3 trillion naira in MTEF for 6 months in 2023. Fears it can't continue carrying that burden.
Yeah, we can't, and we shouldn't.
But if they can't continue carrying that burden,
so what are we supposed to have done?
And they are willing to carry it to the end of their administration, and then hand over the burden to the next.
It's a very simple thing, so I don't sound like a broken clock. We shouldn't continue with this burden. It doesn't make any sense to continue to do this. And what is the reason? Why are we paying subsidy? It is because we are importing refined fuel. So one would have assumed that a thinking government, would have understood the need for us to quickly fix our refineries. And we are asking this question: if Angola can have functional refineries, why can't Nigeria fix its own refineries?
All right. Well, more details on page 41 of Vanguard newspaper. Lagos extends Okada ban to 4 more local government areas. That's on page 10. Closed door meeting. Obasanjo assured Tinubu of victory.
A lot of Buga dance yesterday in the midst of the chaos
that's happening in the country. Yeah.
Because you see, there was a time that he had to apologize when he sent pictures of himself
that he was
attending
in a leadership school in
Harvard, and he had to apologize yesterday. Yes, he has the right to dance, enjoy himself.
I'm going to borrow. More details on page 10 of Vanguard newspaper. E-Naira transactions hit 4 billion naira, says Emefiele, and that's on page 7. Buhari orders security agents to kill terrorists in their den. That's on page 8.
That's supposed to be the one to resolve the issue.
Some northern governors destroying primary education, says federal government. That's on page 15. Osun governorship poll. Court dismisses suit seeking nullification of Adeleke's candidacy. And that's on page 10. So that's that with that. Above the masthead of Vanguard newspaper, we have how shutdown of national grid threatened Nigeria's security, says experts. And that's on page 5. We also have $600 million trapped fund. Foreign airlines pull out of Nigeria. That's on page 21.
We're keeping their funds because we have forex issues. You see the
one thing
double
I
standard.
like. You know, one thing I like about the aviation sector is that if it rains on the aviation sector, it rains on both the elites and
majorly on the elites.
I
know the flag when I'm not an elite.
You have a personal physician.
Well, you need to ask me how.
I don't have time.
Just a minute, Sandra. Just a minute, Sandra. We are quick to hold on to the funds of these people who are foreign investors who have their own private businesses and all of that. But we can't tidy our own back end. We can't account for our own crude oil. We can't clean up our own subsidy regime payments. But these are people who are doing legitimate businesses here. And then we are quick to hold on to their fund.
Is that Buga dance that is just really paining you right now?
No, it's okay. Right. You can dance Buga.
Finally, from Vanguard newspaper,
there's a poem. There's a poem.
Federal government blocks mobile payment, telecoms network access to online loan firms. That's on page straight to Mainland Focus, where you get to be a part of the show. I'm sure that amidst everything that we have discussed, amidst all the trending stories that we've discussed this morning, you should have an idea of what our focus will be this morning. Not just one. I think we're going to be having 2 focal points this morning. So all you have to do is stay with us, and don't forget, when we come back from the break, we'll still be live on Facebook and YouTube. You're on to Mainland 98.3 FM. And we'll be right back. 3 FM, the sound of Lagos. And Fuhad Sahid is still here with me in the studio. And my name still remains Omobola Sandra. Don't forget that we're live on Facebook and YouTube. So you can, follow the conversation also via those channels. The focus for this morning, we have two focal points for this morning. We have this major headline from the Nation newspaper that says federal government insists on no work, no pay rule for varsity workers. And, it's now an issue of, the Minister of Education, Adamu, who is saying that there's not going to be any payment of salary backlog for the 6 months that the workers, that ASUU was on strike.
Yeah.
That's because every other aspect, of the issue of their demands has been resolved. So what is remaining now, or what ASUU is demanding now, is the payment of salaries for the past 6 months, which Minister of Education, Adamu, said that the president flatly rejected it. Now, ASUU is also coming in and saying that, the reason why they are going to insist on this is because of a provocative indifference of the government. That's an angle that they are coming from. All right, so we're now looking at this. What are your own thoughts as regards this issue? What do you think of the statements from the minister saying no work, no pay? You didn't work for the past 6 months and you're not going to get paid for that 6 months. And then you also have ASUU saying that you're being incensed. Oh, sorry, let me just say what they said. Your indifference is what is
indifference.
Yes, your indifference is what's provoking us to take actions like this. Let me just paraphrase that way. That's one issue that we're looking at. The second issue that we're looking at is government is weighing their options on petrol subsidy payment. Let me read a story for us, so maybe we'll have a better understanding. Because the Minister of Finance is saying that daily petrol subsidy payments has hit 18.39 billion naira. So every day, that's the amount that they are paying daily for on subsidy 18.39 billion every day. All right. And according to her, 1.774 trillion has been paid to independent oil marketers as petrol subsidy from 2013 to 2016. All right. So now, if we dig deeper into that story, she added that all right, because she's saying that information provided by NNPC and also the regulators is what was used for the assessment of subsidy, especially for 2023. And then she's saying that for 2023, the projection is that the average daily truck out will be 64.96 million naira liters per day. Now, that means about 65 million per day, using an average of an open market of 448 naira, and then a regulator pump price of 165. So if you put this gives us an average under recovery, that is the difference between 165 and 468.
So normally we're supposed to be buying at 468. So
448,
subsidy,
448.
So subsidy keeps it at 165.
Subsidy keeps it at 165. So that means the government is paying 283 naira for us.
So what it means, Sandra, is that if we remove subsidy, we are supposed to be paying
448
per liter.
Yes.
Okay.
Per liter. So
because we are not refining locally.
So if you multiply the amount of liter per day, the open market exchange rate of naira to the dollar, and then the gap between the pump price and the open market price, the total amount of subsidy per day is what is making it 18.39 billion naira. So that is what the minister of that's the explanation or the breakdown.
Yeah.
You can get more details of this. I'm not reading from my own personal diary. I'm reading from the Nation newspaper
and the minister's statements.
And the minister's statements. Okay. She even went further to say so that means that if they are projecting for the full year, that means they are looking at 6 trillion naira from January to December. All right. So I'm looking at this now and then weighing it against the achievements or the milestone that Angola, the second largest
exporter of crude oil
in sub-Saharan Africa, is able to achieve, to the point that they've cancelled their debts, they've firmed up their currency, and here we are still talking about subsidy payment
that we are not even sure of,
and the removal of it.
Well, Sandra, I'll just say that we can allow the listeners out there to also contribute to this particular issue. It's a very simple thing. I think we all read the story of the prodigal son in the Bible. I don't think we have a better version now than the way we are running the country. Who we are going to run to is what I don't know. After we deplete everything that God has given to us, maybe we'll run back to God. I don't know how we're going to be able to justify the way we are running the country. This is a blessed nation, Sandra. It's probably the most blessed nation in the world. Look at all the indices. But you ask yourself, why are we, behaving this way to ourselves? We're able to build 4 refineries, and none of them is working. Apart from the subsidy payments, Sandra, there are turnaround maintenance monies that goes on those refineries that are producing practically nothing, not even a liter of refined fuel. So what exactly is going on? And that's why I'm asking the question. In the short term, again, 7 years ago, when some of us thought that a new sheriff was in town, we are taught that all of these things, it's not new. All of these stories you are reading, Sandra, it's not a new thing. When we thought that, look, a new sheriff was in town. In fact, when he made himself the Minister of Petroleum, that was the thing. Oh, we have somebody who was going to stop all of this. We're going to have at least sanity back into that sector. And then we can begin to account, for the monies we make. We can begin to, develop the country, fend up the naira, get good forex from the oil sector, but at least that's what generates the most revenue for us as a nation. But here we are, 7 years down the line, going to 8 years. It has even gotten worse. And so we ask ourselves, as we march towards 2023, are we going to continue this way? And I tell the governors that keep insisting on removal of subsidy as the only solution, that they are being hypocritical, they are not being fair to the people, and they must understand that, look, they cannot dare remove subsidy at this time until we fix our refineries. It can't happen. Because, again, look at the report. It means that ordinarily we'll be buying close to 500 naira per liter if you remove subsidy today. How do you want the ordinary person, ordinary man, ordinary Nigerian to survive?
All right, there we have it, and that is those are the 2 focal points for this morning. No work, no pay.
And then for Adamu, she just please get serious. Stop faffing around, please.
All right, and that's our focus for this morning, or those are the focal points for this morning. The statement of no work, no pay by the Minister of Education.
It's not a joke. Is it joking?
It's okay. It's okay.
All right.
Thank you. It's okay. All right, and yes, we have the Minister of Education saying no work, no pay to the ASUU striking lecturers for the past 6 months. That all other issues have been resolved, but this particular one, the president flatly rejected payment of salaries backlog for the past 6 months. That's one focus for this morning. The second part is we've gotten a breakdown of some sort. The breakdown that we have been asking for, we've gotten a breakdown of some sort from the Minister of Finance, because they are looking at taking off subsidy totally, because they are paying 18.69 billion naira every day. 18.69 billion naira every day for petrol subsidy.
Subsidy, yeah.
Okay. All right. I just tried to do all that calculation again. All right, so that is what we are looking at, and let's hear your contributions. 091-3600-410. 091-3600-410. You can send a text message, you can send a WhatsApp message, or you can put a phone call through, and let's hear your contributions. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jesus, and good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Why are you laughing?
The way you call Sandra.
People are suffering. People are suffering, and you are laughing because you are a big man.
No verse.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't go laugh again.
Because you are a big man. So this situation is not affecting you.
It don't affect me, okay? Are we not in the same country?
Okay. Sandra,
I'm with you, Mr.
Speaking about this ASUU matters, I stand 100% with government.
Okay.
For the first time, I think we are overindulging these ASUU people. It's strike too many. It's one strike too many. Every day you go on strike. Go and Google. You see strike there against ASUU. Now, do you know that last year they did something? They were on strike for a full year. They counted money and gave to them. It should not continue like this. So I think government will stand firm on this. It will be a disincentive if any time they want to go on strike again. That's number one. Number two is that you see this fuel matter. When these guys were coming in last time, they were claiming that, oh, Jonathan had 100 something dollar to a barrel and didn't do anything. Now they have even more. What's happening here? And when you people said, oh, 5G will give us 7 trillion, I'm just laughing at you. The 5G, the 7 trillion that they will give us, will still enter the same pocket of these same people that are looting our money. I don't see them serious at all. Look at what is happening in the. You are telling me that every day you are spending 18 point something. Me, I bought fuel it's 2 weeks now. The fuel I bought is still inside my keke napep or whatever I have. Yes, the fuel is still there. So is it every day I go to buy fuel?
That's what I say. So there are no variations, daily consumption, no variations. Yes. We consume the same thing every day.
They continue giving us this kind of thing every time, thinking that we are babies. I think that the next time when somebody comes and say, "Oh, I am a saint, I am not corrupt," you people should look at the person. This is what they told us in 2015. It became the worst.
All right, thank you.
I'm sorry for you people.
For that.
We're all together, Mr. Kangwelina.
He's just joking. We did together.
Hello, good morning.
Fuad, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Auntie Sandra.
Mr. Peter.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to put it this way. Unfortunately, you have people that their children are schooling in very good schools abroad, where they have equipment, they pay lecturers, and they train their children there. And those are the same people you say they should manage your education here for you. What will they do? They don't have any stake in it. So whatever happens is not their business. They steal it, they steal that their business. That's why these people, right from Mr. President to the Minister for Education, and asking, do we have any of their children in any of our higher institutions in Nigeria? Mr. Fuad, I sent something to you the other day. It contains a list of Buhari's children that are schooling all in UK, none in Nigeria. Now those are the people you say they should make your education to work. Unfortunately, you are the same people that frustrate ASUU, that push ASUU to remain like this. They bring up this, you kill again, you say it is a PDP that they entered into negotiation with them. But now they have taken over other road projects that the PDP started. At the end of the day, they bring in, you say no, you push them to stay at home. And now you say you won't pay them. ASUU, no pay, no work. Let us continue this situation. Maybe until that time, God will remember Nigeria and knock out all these people that don't love us. Let me talk about the subsidy. I think because APC, the minister, all of them know that if Nigerians are allowed to vote, if our vote will count, they know they will not come back. And this for me is a late evening rush into the market. They want to buy what they can keep. They want to make what they can keep. So that if they don't come back, they will live on that until they leave this earth, which they are going to answer before God on the day of judgment. Let it be like that. In Nigerian, if we like, we learn. If we don't like, we remain like that. People who don't love us, those are the people we call to come and oppress us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Peter. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. This is Abiola.
Abiola in transit. All right.
Yeah, Mr. Fuad, good morning.
Morning, Abiola.
Yeah. If federal government had done the needful in the first place, are we going to be talking about 6 months? If they had done the needful, see, now this government we hear say rodent do something. Now here we hear monkey. Now this government we hear snake, and nobody has been arrested. Nobody has been arrested, and where we are talking about ASUU, we are talking about the future of youth in this country, and they are telling us that they can't pay for 6 months. It's none of my business. They should pay them because we are all of us are lawless in this country. You will hear a case of stealing something so billions. Nobody was anybody arrested. Rodent, snake, monkey are stealing money. Nobody was arrested. And now you are talking about if they have done the needful, if FG had done the needful in the first place, are we going to be talking about this 6 months? Let let's think about if they are done the needful. If everything that is meant to go well is going well, are we going to be talking about 6 months? Why are they just cutting it now? And they are telling us that it's not because of this strike. We at the moment be telling us that they've done what they are supposed to do. It's not because of this strike. Now they are saying they can't. They should go and look for money. Let them go and borrow. Maybe they borrow to pay all these people. They borrow to buy cars for other countries. They borrow so many things. They should borrow for this one as well. Let them pay. I'm in support of the ASUU. God, I'm in support of them.
All right.
I'm supporting them 100%. Let them go and borrow money to pay them. Good day. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Abiola, for your contribution. Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm not describe you.
Yes, so Ambassador Musbah.
I like you for Said and Pastor Dianisaka and Sandra. Sandra,
yes,
I'm going to supply you special bread.
Okay. Why are you supplying me bread, sir?
That's a decided gift.
So it's Fuad that eats bread.
Someone love bread.
No, it's not me. It's Fuad that eats bread.
I'm going to talk about bread for 2 minutes.
I'll soon cut him now. He's laughing.
I'm just starting now. Fuad, why now? Go down.
I'm just saying that they are pressing serious issues on the table.
We don't, it's not an issue. We want us to die. We can't kill ourselves now. Even if all the paper university is not smile at us. We have to smile at ourselves. I tell you, life is too short. Mommy, that part is in Nigeria alone. Now, for me, on serious, look, ASUU and federal government, I see both of them as not responsible. Honestly, you want to ask me why? When you are back on strike for 1 week, 1 month, and you are dealing with death and dog, and you are continuing shouting, you need to help yourself. I think you can just go back to the school when it's 1 month and re-strategize. Maybe to networking with other union. For me, this 6 months is just uncomfortable. It's just waste of time. Because the students there are the ones property. I have a company now, and people give me advice, and my worker go on strike, and my company run the loads of advertising there, and I'm like, the worker come back, and you want me to just don't play advice for me, you just start like that. The student need to sue the pleasure to come, like they say, because the student life now after is out of the right.
Thank you, Ambassador Musbah.
Take my learning.
Thank you very much for your contribution.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
He said, "Oh my God." Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Sandra.
Good morning.
Yeah, you can see
your name, and where you're calling from.
John from Ogba.
Okay.
John.
You can see that these people are not really putting on their thinking cap. Just like the analyst there said, you did not you kept our refinery moribund. You did not repair it. Angola, what is Angola compared to Nigeria? Those people that were in apartheid there that have suffered, then that we helped out. Now see where they are. We cannot maintain our own refineries, and we depend on importation. When we extract food from the soil here, we take it abroad for refining and bring it back in dollars, and it's decimated in dollars at the foreign currency. I can bet that even if they remove the subsidy, by the year 2025, we are going to buy petrol at 1,000 naira per liter because the refinery is not repaired. And as long as we continue to do what we are doing now, it's going to be going up higher and higher and higher. So they are not putting all the thinking cap. Let them repair our refinery first. That is what we insist on. And the oil that is being stolen from here on daily basis, they are not talking about it. If you ask NNPC now, they don't know how much of where we are exporting. They don't know how much is coming in. They can't give you accurate data. What sort of people are these? What's this? Now wow, it's just like we are illiterate and we are fools here. And so we don't know why are they behaving this way. These are prodigal, stupid people. I'm sorry to use that word. I'm sorry to it's just provoking. It's a provocative this thing now.
We understand.
You put everybody suffering. Families are suffering now.
All right, thank you.
Because of the attitude of these people.
Thank you very much, Mr. John. It's all right.
John is annoyed.
Yes, we understand.
Yeah.
But let's try to keep it clean. All right, we'll really appreciate that. All right. So I've been accused of
Not reading messages.
of not reading messages. So I want to read messages and then go back to phone calls now. All right. So I have here, hi, Mainland FM. On the issue of subsidy, I don't think it will be solved anytime soon, as there are some in this country cashing out from it. And we all know thousands are stealing crude every day. So how do we tackle this? If we can repair or build our refineries and solve these bottleneck of stealing and corruption, then we can have some little sanity in the case of subsidy. On the issue of ASUU, the government can borrow money to do everything else, but cannot borrow money to solve ASUU issue. Sandra, we quarrel. You don't read my message. I just read your message now.
That's Ebong, right?
No, Sean from Festac. Sean from Festac. Thank you very much for your contribution. I appreciate. All right. We also have Abraham Adigun from Ikeja saying ASUU should kindly accept that for the consequences of their actions. Good morning.
All right.
And that's Abraham Adigun with his own contribution there. Good morning, Mainland FM. Adamu is not to be blamed. We should blame the president who just employs everyone around him rather than employing a qualified person who could have helped him to move this country forward. What is the qualification of Adamu to be a minister of education? God help us in this country. And that's Chinedu from Orisumbari sharing his own thoughts there. I also have good morning. Okay, that's also for me, not reading message, so help me. All right, I also have here, I have a message here. There's no name, it doesn't have a name, and there's no location, so I can't take an anonymous message.
Yeah.
So apologies for that one. All right, would appreciate it if you can put some identity to your messages. Okay, we are tired of hearing their unending stories about the twin problems of oil subsidy and crude theft, as if they don't know where the deals lies. Let them wait for my grandmother to come and produce the oil thieves for them. The twin problems are competing with each other in a government that has anti-corruption mantra as its cardinal objective. Chai. And that's Steve from Ijaniki sharing his own thoughts. They also have good morning, Sandra and Fuad. I am Frank from Egbeda. If I'm to ask the federal government one question, when the Senate and House of Assembly go on break, are their monthly salaries and payments not being paid?
Fully.
If they should borrow to solve other problems, they should borrow to meet ASUU's demands. Is it not better to borrow to educate your children than borrowing to build infrastructures that will decay and be damaged one day? And that's Frank from Egbeda with his own thoughts there. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
And good morning. Mr. Fuel, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Damilola.
Yes, honestly, I don't know what is wrong with federal government. When Buhari travel out for medical treatment in UK, I don't know, maybe if anything happened to his salary. Now the thing is, we are trying to resolve this matter. These people are coming off. I don't even know. In fact, this Minister of Education, Adamu, is a very great clown. I don't think that guy is a very big joker. Okay, the fault is from federal government, not from us. Then what is the problem? They were in Nigeria here, they were still passing day by day. Let them off. Give them their salary, let them resume. In fact, still that this government is not serious. And Adamu, believe me, that guy is not capable. I don't know his qualification, but for me, he is never a capable, minister. And they should look into that. And on issue of subsidy, in fact, we are seeing day by day. Minister of Finance, Petroleum Minister, Muhammad Buhari himself, they must be proved. I don't know what will benefit in refining our oil, in foreign countries. Okay, Angola can have a refinery. What takes Nigeria? We are center of Africa, big brother of Africa. What's our problem? Are we normal in this country? Why are we behaving this way? People are done day by day. We are in poverty. So this government cannot. Buhari came 2015. He promised that to fix refineries. Has he forgotten all those things? Now they are coming up. Buhari must be investigated. And the Minister of Finance, all of them, they cannot go for free. What's that?
All right.
Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Mr. Damlola, for your contribution. Hello, good morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody in the studio.
Good morning.
This is from my brother Sherry.
All right.
Sandra, what's the name of that your colleague with you there?
Fuad Sahid.
Fuad, please, let him contribute to the issue of please.
I promise I will not even talk about PDP.
I don't know, I'm begging this.
I should talk about them, okay.
Please, I beg, because to be sincere about it, Wike is, although looking at it, he wants to give Atiku fight for his money.
Ufoma, we have 2 focal points for this morning.
I know. Yes, I know. I will mention the 2.
Oh, yeah.
Because we cannot neglect Wiki. And also Atiku can also neglect him. By the end of the day, maybe Atiku will meet him 1 hour. I will understand it.
You have 1 minute more.
No.
I will do that. I will do that. So let me stop on Wiki. But the issue of Angola, I think there is a lane for Nigeria. So those who could have blamed the day of Jonathan, who promised that by the time that we got into power, the issue of petrol and strike will become to an end. So they should see for themselves now. The way you analyze it, I hope that they are reading it from the newspaper and for the news. That if Angola, a smaller country to Nigeria, can pay all his debt for them to spend in power, they should do what is right. At the end of the day, everybody should be at peace. But the issue of ASUU, I will still support the ASUU. They should fight it to stay.
Good morning, Sandra. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I'm Henry from Sulere.
All right, Henry.
Yeah, my brother, it's my pleasure.
All right.
Thank you. In fact, the topic is very interesting this morning. But I want to tell you that the truth is that it's are rolling. But the truth remains that all this money goes down to the average Nigerian. You work triple time to get the same amount you do get years back and spend it in a twinkle of an eye without getting any value for it. So at the end of the day, stop.
Okay.
Thank you, my brother.
All right.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much, Henry. You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM, and it's Mainland Focus right now. Don't forget that you can watch the program live on Facebook and YouTube on Mainland 98.3 FM. Just search for Mainland 98.3 FM on both channels, and you can watch the program live. All right, the focal point months that they were on strike, and ASUU saying, being adamant that we should be paid if you want us to cover up for that past 6 months for the students. And then we also have the breakdown of subsidy payments. That's
eventually.
The eventual breakdown of subsidy payments from the Minister of Finance, trying to give a projection or to give an explanation as to why the removal of subsidy is very important. Now look at this: we're paying 18 billion naira every day, over 18 billion naira every day on subsidy. That's what we pay every day. It's capped at that amount. All right. So let's go back to taking messages. Those are the focal points for this morning. And we have some messages here. This one says, good morning, Fuad and Sandra. I greet you guys optimally. Please help me ask Mr. Okangbeli now, how else he expects ASUU to hold city workers? If the entire students can come out and hold this government to jugular, they will do something quickly. Mr. Adamu said they won't pay lecturers for the strike period, but Dr. Nguge said they are ready to pay with addition even for the strike period. No synergy among mainland crew. ASUU should not go back in this. No work, no pay. And for ASUU, if eventually the need is done, they should please think of the future of every Nigerian. None of the money should be side funds or mismanaged. If not, they will face the wrath of God. He also mentioned some other we appreciate. Hello, good morning.
Very good morning to you, Lady Sandra.
Good morning, Prince Wise.
How are you, my dearest
Fuad. Good morning, Prince
Wise. You see this morning, if you pay 18 billion naira per day for subsidy, are they subsidize Nigeria or are they subsidize some West African country? Because it is corruption. What? It's really corruption. Some of this they will bring petrol to the country instead of sending Nigeria. They will just take it to where they can get more money.
Bunkering is even going on.
As of now in Ghana, I learned that this crude a liter is around 430 naira. So if they can go to any neighboring country
make more
and
money.
Get more money, Nigeria will do that. And it's very unfair to the country. So for me, 2023, I don't want any complaint from any politician. You see the situation right now before you put your head. If you don't study Nigeria, any complaint, we don't want to tolerate that. That for that. Secondly, for the lecturers, if there's a law that is say work no pay, they should implement the law. Because if there's no law that is no work no pay, they should pay the lecturer. And I'm still repeating myself. Nigeria government should go out there. We have external reserve, more than 30 billion. Take part of the money home and set this ASUU once and for all. Some ASUU members, they were working in the private universities. They will go to lose at the end of the day if you pay their salary of 6 months. Our children will be the loser, the government will be the loser. Because the moment you prolong this, some of them want it to be prolonged because they teach a private university, they will collect the salary over there, they come here and collect money for what they did not do.
Thank you, Prince Wise.
This is my own candidate opinion. Please, finally, if there's a law, they should go to industrial court to go and sort out the also.
Right.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Prince Wise. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Mainland Focus. My name is Kola from Inupeju.
All right. Good morning, Kola. Please go ahead.
Yeah. I'm talking on the subsidy regime.
Okay.
Even if we are going to toe the line of Mr. Fuad, there will still be subsidy. Let's say our refineries are working and we are refining here. How much do you think crude will be sold to Nigerian refinery? It will still be subsidized because if they are selling crude at $90 at the international market, maybe they sold to our refinery at $50. It's still the same thing. Let me tell you, even where they are refining abroad, cost of fare now in Ireland is 2.3 euro, which is about 2,000 naira.
You see, Kola, we need to get this very clearly. As an oil producing nation, you have exemptions. And you must understand that there is what they call local consumption, how to take care of local consumption before you even think of exporting. So we can have a situation where we will be judged by the international price of crude as an oil producing nation.
But wait. Yes. I already said it now that it will be subsidized to the local refinery. Let's say they are selling at $90. Local refinery will take it at like 50. Or won't you sell it to them? You give it to them free. If you give it to them free, it means you have subsidized 100% again.
No. Don't let us model it up, sir.
Okay.
As a nation, we are an oil producing nation. We have our own refineries. Let us get our refineries working. That's what we're saying. Before we think of exporting, we will also first take care of local consumption.
I know.
That will be our priority.
How much do you sell to the local refinery? How much do you sell it to them?
Do we have to sell? Are we not the one extracting or running the refineries?
We give it to them freely.
To take care of local consumption and sell and make money. Wait. Let's look at it this way.
Gentlemen.
Let us look at it.
How do you keep your books?
Look.
How do you keep your books?
Are we going to make money from the refined product?
Forward, please hold.
How do you keep your books?
What I'm saying is that when we refine, are we going to make money from refining?
Forward, please hold. Unfortunately, we lost that call. I wanted to ask him that what exactly is the point that he was trying to
I don't know how you're going to subsidize when you refine locally.
If I mean, I'm trying to understand what exactly, the point he was trying to make. He said he's an accountant.
Yes, of course.
And I understand he's trying to look at the books. Okay, even if we are producing in-house.
Yes.
I want to look at it like, okay, you have pap, you make pap in-house, in your house, inside your house, and your family wants to eat pap.
Are you not going to take care of the local before you think of outside?
Would you not, take out of what you're selling, make for your family members, and then you sell? Or because I'm trying to understand, if you can call back, though, I would really appreciate, because I want to know the point exactly. Mr. Kola from Surulere, yes, I would like to know what exactly the point he was trying to bring out. I wasn't getting it. That's why I relaxed on the time. But then we have to keep moving, because we have a lot of other people who would like to share.
Even the people in government have agreed that
thoughts.
the reason why we are subsidizing is because we are not refining locally. It's as simple as that.
It's okay. Thank you. It's okay. All right. Thank you very much. You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM, and let me take some messages at this point now. All right. I have here a message, but no name, no location. Unfortunately, I can't take that one. Good morning, House. The no work, no pay policy is a proof of insensitivity and government incapability to run this country. And we are busy chasing shadows, talking ethnic and religion. Maybe we will ask foreigners to come and rule us. We have been there. I don't think it was a good experience. Gerald Chinedu Igwegwe from Ikotun, thank you very much. All right, we also have Good Morning Mainland FM. I'm Eligu from Berja. If we cannot produce anything in this country, but we have only crude oil, why can't we hold on to what God has given us? The way they are going about building refinery, I feel as if it's the most forbidden thing on earth. May God help us. And that's Eligu from Bega. And I also want to put this out there. It's not building a refinery is not a big deal, because there's a private entrepreneur who is currently almost done with building his own refinery. All right, so let's just put that out there. Maybe it's also important for us to put there. Good morning, Mainland crew. I'm Ernest from Alausa. The question that begs for answer is, if ASUU wants to get salary for the months they did not work, what will the students get for the time wasted and the delay to our academy? If they said students are sacrificing, then they should forfeit salary as a sacrifice too. And that's Ernest from Alausa sharing his own thoughts. We also have Good Morning Mainland. About fuel subsidy, Buhari's government claims they are the best when it comes to infrastructural development. Then I ask, are our refineries not part of the infrastructures that should be fixed? It's a shame. And that's Sam Ikutal from Ikeja sharing his own contributions there. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please turn down.
You see,
your
we have turned it down. Yes.
All right. Your name. Your name.
Akin from Mogba.
Akin.
Yeah.
Right.
You see, you can see how people will bamboozle some people and be supporting the government arbitrarily. Without, he said he's an accountant. I'm sorry, I'm not attacking his personality, but it concerns every one of us. We should dissect it and lay it there, so that everybody will know what exactly is happening. That we are not fools in this country. Are you with me?
Yes.
He was trying to talk to the moderator, the analyst there, that his position is not correct. And I would say I'm in tandem with his position. It's very, very correct. How many times have they allocated money for total ground maintenance and there are no results? So what is he saying? What has he been able to do about that? He's an accountant. I think he's the only one that will be an accountant. My daughter is an accountant too.
Even the government has admitted the reason why we are paying these subsidies is because we can't refine locally. Buhari said it in 2015 that even subsidies is a fraud. It's not rocket science.
Hello, sir. It's not rocket science. If you produce here, you extract crude from here. Let us even say, okay, we are not refining, and if we even producing and we are refining locally, that let us even start. Is it logical that you extract crude from your soil, you take it overseas and bring back it in dollars and all the byproducts? Is it only crude that? Is it only fuel? PMS that has to refine final products.
What of the other products that come out from it?
We have almost about 36 byproducts. That's why is somebody talking this way? Where are those products now?
All right.
Some people are foolish, honestly.
No, Mr. Let's just keep it clean.
No, it's okay. It's okay, Mr. Akin. Thank you very much. We appreciate your contribution. Let's go back to picking messages at this point. Now, I have here, good morning, mainland crew. ASUU must not bow down on this because federal government is at fault. On the issue of fuel subsidy, the government should fix our refineries and stop giving us excuses. Honestly, these people have run this country down completely, and I'm seriously afraid for the future of this country. And that's Olamiposi from Ilogbo Elegba. Thank you very much, Olamiposi. I also have here Sandra and Fuad. Please tell Mr. Kola that most of what we are paying for subsidy is transportation and haulage from foreign countries.
The government has even said that.
And that's Okangwelina from Mafoluku. Thank you for putting that out there. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh,
no.
That call is not so good.
The quality is bad. Hello. All right, maybe you should call us back. The quality is very poor. All right. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Sandra and Fuad.
Yes, good morning.
My name is Martin David from Mushi.
All right.
Fuad said that the Minister of Education is joking. I agree with him, but his comment is laughable because it's serious. They destroy Almajre in the north. They bring another alternative that cannot work. There has no other alternative to education than what we have now. It's unfortunate that this regime that we passed by 2023 select favorites. They don't look for and not destroy education. We are our own here.
You know what, Mr. Morrison, we can barely hear what you're saying. I don't know. I think the network is not so good from your area, so maybe you should send a message to complete your contribution. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, Sandra and Mr. Fuad?
I'm fine, thank you. I appreciate you
asking. This is the first time I'm calling. My name is Abdul Ademola.
Abdul.
Yes, I have been listening to you guys for a very long time.
Where are you calling from, Abdul?
From Surulere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was unable to listen to you guys this morning. I just was on the radio. But I can tell you that my contribution would not be different. In line, the reason I'm saying that is this. The same problem has been plaguing this country since time immemorial. And the same line of conversations have been had. And yet there's been no solution in the nearest, future. But we are just hopeful that God will give us people that will help us to get better on track. The major problem with empathy was not included in our creation. That way, people don't do to others what they want to be done to them. I was listening to a radio station yesterday and somebody said that I think it was your radio station, the person said, when you know somebody that is in the position of power, either the person is doing good or bad, you can learn from it, you can earn from him, you call it connection. When you cannot earn from such a person and you feel disadvantaged, we call it corruption. So, yeah, that system that we operate would continue to anti every of our attitude towards success, which was what I told someone when I was having a conversation. I said, may our personality not sabotage our efforts. The Nigerian personality keeps sabotaging every of our efforts towards greatness. Until we have a rethink totally. Islam said that the book I follow said that the face of a nation would not be changed except the people internally find a way to change who they are on the inside. That is when they will have a difference in their external results. May God keep helping this country.
All right.
For me, I think I'm getting out of here by God's grace.
Few messages and then move on to the next show, the next program. What we have here, I have a message here. Sandra and Fuad, good morning. This is okay. I am Chimobi Emmanuel from Abule Egba. I don't know, and if it's constitutional that once any organization embarks on strike, there will be no payment of salaries.
I wanted to
That's actually a valid question.
Is it Mr. Caller that called from that was asking what of the crude swap that we do?
Good morning, Sandra. Nigeria is a country of snake in the monkey shadow, a country that portrays herself as the giant of Africa and feeds on money. Ants feed on money. I'm sorry, we're just a bunch of jokers. And please, the leaders of Nigeria should just leave us alone. We're tired of drama. And that's Sam from Ota. And also have good morning, Milan crew. It's now obvious ASUU is now more powerful than the government, forcing the government to pay them for not working. What about the students? Let ASUU also sacrifice their salaries of that 6 months too. It's not only the students that should be on the losing side. The 6-month salary should be a sacrifice on the part of ASUU for an improved university education in Nigeria. You can lose in the battle and ask for the blood to be recovered immediately. Jacob Ku from Shomolu sharing his own contributions there. I also have Hi Mainland FM. Can't students come out and do massive protest? Adamu, help us with, Adamu's surname. Yes, his surname is Adamu. His name is Adamu. His surname is Adamu. And that's Emmanuel John Ojonugwa from Ishere. Unfortunately, that will be, where I draw the curtain for Mainland Focus for this morning. Thank you very much to everyone who, called in and also sent in text messages or WhatsApp message. I apologize if I was not able to take your message or if I was not able to take your WhatsApp message or your call. Time isn't, a friend when we are getting things done on this side. All right, it's still Mainland 98.3 FM. And for those who joined us via YouTube and for those who also joined us via Facebook, we want to say thank you very much. We appreciate you. And don't forget that going forward, every Trends in the Papers, Mainland Focus, Global View will be live on these channels. So if you're unable to, get your radio or whatnot, you can always watch the program live. All right. And thank you very much, Fuad Sahid, for being here this morning. My name still remains Omobola Sandra. AgView Half Hour will be on air next. Stay with us.